What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, let's talk about the recap of college football. Welcome to the podcast. Y'all already know. Let's get into it. Look, this is the First to Go podcast. Look, I have, I have a bone to pick with people in general. Before we get into talking about college football and the greatness and the beautiful season we are having right now, I got a serious thing to talk about right now. We had 2 college football players shot last weekend. Protect the players. Any fans or anybody, it don't matter who you are, anybody that has a problem with anybody or necessarily, it don't always got to result into violence to the point you shoot somebody, they're either taking a life or they're taking a life. It doesn't matter if you did or not. The point is, it's not worth it at the end of the day. So let's keep it 100 about it. I know one kid got shot right before both kids, both of them kids. Both of them got shot right before the game, respective games. I have an issue with that. Like that's not the only time that's not the only time. Last weekend was just to the tipping point. I'm just like, okay, I need to bring this up. Because there was another incident early at the very beginning of the season where it wasn't a gun, but it was an incident. And then you have I think it was 3, I thought it was 3, but it was actually 4 Kentucky players. They're getting charged for burglary. Like, don't be stupid. Smart decisions. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If you running with a circle that is not beneficial to your well-being, get the hell out. Just don't. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. Now, by me saying that, let's get into college football. Look here. Let's talk recap. Recap of week 4. And some trash talk on top of it. I went 5 for 5. Normally I would go through those picks, but I'm not even gonna go through those picks. Just know that I did get the Arkansas game. I mentally got the Clemson game. I did not get that game, but I mentally got the Clemson game. I was going to pick NC State, honestly. NC State did us. I said it before. I said it in yesterday's show. NC State did us a favor. They did us a very, very, very big favor. And let me give you a tidbit. No team that made it into the college football playoffs, no team has never lost twice in September that made it. So Clemson, we put up the 2 fingers and we're gonna tell you the deuces. But let's talk about a team that a lot of stock is getting bought right now, and that's Arkansas. We're gonna talk about the top 25 in a second, but Arkansas they stock getting bought a lot. It's a lot of stock at Arkansas right now. I'm gonna touch base about this, but I'm gonna run back to this when I run through the top 25. But Arkansas is getting a lot of stock bought because there is something brewing in the SEC, and it could be a shift starting to make shift. Is it the fact that I still believe that the days are counting down for Saban not to be the head coach at Alabama, not because he's not capable of doing it. It's just at some point, at a certain age, at a certain point in your career, and even Bobby Bowden was coaching at a high level to a certain point and to a certain age where at some point after that certain age and that point, there's no more going back. It is what it is. I think Nick Saban is going to get out before that point. That's what I'm saying. The days are numbered at Alabama. I think people need to realize that that's coming. That's a hot take for a lot of folks to really realize. Like, oh, man, come on, you tripping? You ain't being for real. You ain't being for real. Yeah, I am. So we're gonna get into some other news, but there's an key injury in the K State Oklahoma game, which I do have in my picks, which I will share tomorrow. But Thompson, the quarterback for K State, is injured. He out for the season. He's well, not out for the season, but he's out definitely for that game. And I think that's going to be a very big blow. I think I'm going to keep it 100. If anybody got a lot of, if you think of an OU bounce back game and win really, really big, this will be the game to put it on. Put all your money on it. Put your money on it. Put your money on it. Anybody's a betting man, put your money on it. Sorry, y'all. I did have it in my archives. The top 25. Who's in the top 25 ranking? It was in my archives, but for some reason, it is not where I want it. It is not where I have it. So basically, sorry for the long pause. Looks like I'm about to wing it. Basically, Arkansas is number 8. That's the biggest, one of the big jumps. The biggest fall is Clemson from where they was to all the way to number 24, 25. Who give a fuck? They out. There ain't no reason to talk about it. That was the other kid that was talking about the shooting. Utah's football player Lowe killed before the game. Yeah. Ohio State dismissed a linebacker for a sideline incident. Yeah. Found it. Here we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Usually I'll be on top of it, and usually I think I was gonna do it at yesterday, where it would have been right there at the top of the news feed, but it wasn't, so I had to go find it. But yeah, we'll start with the 25. Let's go ahead and get into the top 25, because what I was gonna do was talk about some more recaps. But honestly, now, matter of fact, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and go into a couple of recaps. Let's go ahead and talk about the game before the Arkansas game that I was watching. What game was that? I have my eye on it. Oh, Notre Dame. What's my team? Duh. Hey, always any host has an off day. Don't trip. All right, so Notre Dame, Wisconsin. I knew it was a game I was going. It was 3 games I was going to highlight in this, and they all SEC teams. Well, except for one game, and this is it. Notre Dame, Wisconsin started off the day with their game at Soldier Field. Notre Dame was an underdog in this game. Matter of fact, they was a 6.5 point underdog. With that being said, for the fact that the Vegas thought that it was a 6.5 point underdog, and then they turn around and still giving Wisconsin giving them, they're not the underdog for the Michigan game. They actually the favorite. Something wrong with that. I don't trust that line. I don't trust that line by a long shot. Either one or two things. Either they don't trust Michigan, or they are fooling the fans to put their money on Wisconsin. One or the other. It's one or the other. But Notre Dame, this game against Wisconsin, Notre Dame was tight all the way at the beginning of the fourth quarter, where Wisconsin was jumping around, playing the House of Pain jumping around song, and I don't know if that just ignited Notre Dame, but all I know is that kickoff, the start of that fourth quarter, was the demise of Wisconsin. That was it. Wisconsin never scored again. I don't even think Wisconsin made it to the 50-yard line the whole fourth quarter. That's how bad it was. And not only there was 2 turnovers traded off by this time, but Notre Dame intercepted him 3 times in the third quarter. 3. And it just baffled me. And one of them was a pick 6, by the way. And it just baffled me that Notre Dame played like this. And my thing is, you did this to Wisconsin, but why you didn't do this to who was it? Toledo and the rival with Purdue. Purdue should have got drugged at Notre Dame. Toledo should have got drugged at Notre Dame. But you come into Soldier Field for the Shamrock Series and be like, yeah, we're going to show our ass. No, you show your ass all year long. That's all I got to say about that. Notre Dame, just be consistent. That's all I ask. Let's go with one thought about the Arkansas A&M game. One thought, Woo Pig Sooie. What else you want me to say about that? A lot of stock is getting bought in Arkansas. In the SEC, a lot of people are starting to respect Arkansas again. In the SEC, it's like, damn Arkansas, we got to play these motherfuckers. That's exactly what people are thinking now. Georgia's really thinking it's like, it's another game. Georgia's not rolling their helmets out. I have to tell the Arkansas faithful and explain them to them. It's like, Georgia is not running from Arkansas. And Arkansas is not running from Georgia by a long shot. But I think Arkansas fans got to come to a realization is that you got a good team. This is a good team. A very hard fought team. At worst, I think this team's a Cotton Bowl berth. At best, when the SEC go to the Sugar Bowl. I don't think this is a playoff team. But damn show, like I said, at best, Sugar Bowl. Because, one of the SEC go to the Sugar Bowl. So even if Arkansas has 2 losses and still win the SEC, they're going to the Sugar Bowl. At best. I don't see Arkansas being undefeated. Arkansas goes undefeated. I would never hear it ever again. Listen to what I'm just saying. I live in the state. I understand what I see. I see Arkansas red all over this damn state. Well, except for Jonesboro, Palm Bluff, certain Conway, those areas, ain't too much Arkansas red in over there. But everywhere else around the state, it's mainly Arkansas red. And so, but like I said, my mom one thought, Whoopie Suey, A&M looks really. I regret picking A&M. I'm officially saying I regret picking A&M. We know Wisconsin's done because they lost to Penn State and now they lost to Notre Dame. They're officially done for the playoffs too. So what's crazy is Wisconsin could be the one team probably get the shot to go to get an argument to try to sneak in necessarily, but it's not gonna happen. So 2 of my playoff picks are already gone. 3 actually, because I automatically by default picked Clemson. So now all 3 of my picks are gone. Oregon, don't disappoint me. I'm being serious. Don't disappoint me. All my picks is gone. Ain't that a bitch? Let's move on. One thought, Florida. No, let's run it back. Sorry, we're gonna say Florida for last. My one thought for the LSU, Mississippi State game. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I want that. That's my thought about it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to come out of this game. Did Mississippi State are they just not really that quite good, or they not really that quite bad, but they're really not that quite good, or is LSU just don't know their true strengths? Don't know. Let's talk about Auburn real quick. Here's my one thought with Auburn. Should have lost. And this is the second year in a row there's a game on their schedule that they should have lost. They should have lost to Arkansas last year. They damn should have lost to this one. That ball hit the ground. Game over. That ball hit the ground. Game over. I don't know what to tell you. The refs, once again, screwed the team out of winning at Jordan-Hare. It started to become, you go to Jordan-Hare, there's there might be a slip up that might happen against you. Alabama got to go to Jordan-Hare at the end of the season. Just saying. And let's lay off with no, we're not gonna lay off. Let's go into Clemson, because this game was supposed to be off before the Florida game. The reason why the Florida game was delayed to be on ESPN News. So let's talk about Clemson real quick. Clemson, NC State. Here's my one thought. I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. We need to send a whole bunch of guests to NC State. They did us a favor. Welcome back, Clemson. Welcome back to the reality of Clemson. Clemson is not a powerhouse by a long shot. I don't know who these fuckboy analysts, even in college football, they've got some fuckboy analysts in college football. Who in the hell has crowned somebody that should not be crowned? Let me put it this way. Clemson had a 6-year run. Stop the bullshit. They had a 6-year run. And they got 3 national championships out of it. 2, 3, no matter. They got a couple of them. They got some nice championships out of it. They went to a couple games. They also got their ass waxed by LSU in the national championship game. Should have lost to Ohio State. Did lose to Ohio State the following year. And then this season, they just fall every bit apart. Like this offense of Clemson is unrecognizable. And let me tell you this: I'm not saying Clemson ain't a good team or won't be a good team. And I'm not even going to go as far as say, oh, playoffs 2022? Hell no. Because I'm telling you right now, there's some few teams got something to say about it. Virginia Tech, Virginia, NC State. Well, maybe not NC State because most of their guys is here now. But can't even say North Carolina because we're not sure what the recruits are looking like for the following year. So like, they may win the conference, but not necessarily they're going to be in the playoffs. You just got to be honest about yourself. Clemson, congratulations. You kind of went back into the pool with everybody else. Just about. You're not in the hot tub. You're back in the pool. It's a difference. Florida, Tennessee. Tennessee is Tennessee again. I don't know what to tell you. Tennessee, once again, just can't beat Florida. I don't know. Florida looked good after nearly upsetting the number one team in the nation just a week ago. Just saying. Florida looked pretty good. I think it validates Alabama's strength of schedule once again. It validates the fact that Alabama will, even if a loss happens with Alabama before they get into the SEC championship game, if they do get crowned as the West champs, excuse me, I feel like that because of the strength with Arkansas and Georgia, A&M was ranked in the top 10 at one point before Arkansas. They pretty much did a flop with their rankings anyway. LSU's been ranked. Ole Miss is ranked now. Just saying, the SEC is the SEC for a reason. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Missouri, you might get kicked out later. We don't lose to Boston College. I don't give a damn what conference they in. You don't. The hell. All right, let's get into the rankings. I'm going to give you my one thought about the rankings. I'm going to give you my one thought as a whole, but I'm also giving you my one thought with the rankings as a individual rank teams in the rankings. Excuse me. And we're going to start with number 25, Clemson. Exactly where you need to be at. 2-2, exactly where you need to be at. And let me tell you, Clemson is the only team with 2 losses in this ranking. The only team in 2 losses. The AP is giving you mercy. Because necessarily, you should have never been in the top 10 after the Clemson, after the Georgia loss. That's just being honest. And Dabo don't want to be honest, then that's his own demise, and you're not ever going to think you're going to be the new Nick Saban. Try it. This is not going to happen. They don't show not in the ACC. Speaking about ACC, Wake Forest ranked 24, undefeated. One thought. We'll see where they at after this weekend. NC State should have never left the rankings. I think the loss to Mississippi State was bad, but it's an SEC team. I think I honestly can be honest with y'all. Mississippi State and NC State was damn near almost identical. They was really equal to each other. It's just happening that NC State know this game with Clemson was coming up in 2 weeks, and so so it's one of them things where they just had they was looking too ahead, not focus on what they were supposed to do, and necessarily you really could be a little higher if you didn't lose to Mississippi State. Auburn 22. You are lucky as I have to be damned. Just know your days is numbered. Baylor 4-0, ranked 21. Whew. Not a sold 04. I think this right now for this week, a very weak 0-14 in this ranking. I'm not that sold on the Bears. UCLA 3-1. Nice bounce back by beating Stanford. What else do you want me to say? They should, to me, UCLA should win the Pac-12 South. By the way, SC, which is not on this list no more after their loss. After what happened to SC, and I just really feel like that. How can I put it? UCLA, you should win the Pac-12 South. It should be Oregon, UCLA. Just being honest. Pac-12 championship. Just saying. Utah's not that good. Just being honest. Number 19, Oklahoma State, ranked 0-4. Don't do it to me. Just don't. Just don't play with my heart. Don't play. Look at Mike Gundy. Don't play with me right now. Just don't. Don't give me. Don't give me that feeling that you really about that. Y'all really about to do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. All that's gonna do is piss me off. 18, Fresno State 4-1. I ain't gonna lie to you. Fresno State is a tough team. I don't even think anybody. I'm gonna be keeping 100. Any other team out of Alabama and maybe Georgia, I don't think anybody wants to play Fresno. I'm being so serious. I probably pick Fresno over both of my teams. That's just being honest. Uh, 17, Michigan State. We'll see when you play Ohio State. Maybe you beat down Ohio State. Maybe I believe you. But Michigan State, y'all holding steady. Y'all probably where y'all need to be at 17. Coastal Carolina 4-0. Look here, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all ain't got that schedule. Y'all honestly, I understand. Me and RJ Young, and that's a mentor of mine that I see watching some of his stuff on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest with you, we kind of got the same idea. You know, if you win games, you win your games, and sometimes your schedule is your schedule. But compared to other schedules, and I can't be honest with you, considering that Fresno State has played not one, not two, but 3 Pac-12 teams. In Oregon, UCLA really beat UCLA. It was the reason why UCLA got a loss in their column. And Arizona State, which they beat Arizona State. Which Arizona State is not ranked no more for a reason. Number 15, Texas A&M. I think this is the one team that should be a little lower than where they are now. I think Texas A&M need to be in the 20s. I think they need a wake up call. I think they need to see. I think they really need to realize they're not as good as they think they are. Not as advertised. Not as advertised. Michigan 14 at 4-0. You should have beat down Rutgers. Matter of fact, you had a damn near basically a 3-touchdown lead, and you let them come back and break it down to one score in the second half. I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the second half, but the one thing I will tell you is this. When a team let off the gas like that, meaning they did not respect Rutgers. They did not give no respect to Rutgers. They really didn't think Rutgers was capable of trying to spoil the shit out of homecoming. Number 13, BYU, also 4-0, undefeated. Oh, BYU's creeping up there. This is where I think this is where the cream of the crop is starting to become right here. A lot of people not really sold on BYU. I done seen enough games with BYU, and I know why they're undefeated. There's a reason why they're undefeated. Oh, by the way, Notre Dame, BYU, Sagrada Series in Las Vegas. Oh, my Lord. And let me tell you something. BYU travels well. Notre Dame travels well. As much as a lot of folks may think that might be a 60-40 split, I think it's going to be more 50-50 next year for the Sagrada Series at the Raiders Stadium. Yeah, at the new black hole. I'm calling it the new black hole. The new black hole? Yeah. It's going to be a 50-50 split. And BYU's not that far from Vegas. No, travel-wise, not that far. I wouldn't put it past as 50-50. Just saying. But BYU, right where they at. Ole Miss 3-0. Did not play last week. Understandable. The reason why you're on the outside looking in. But me personally, I will put them over the team that is at number 11, which is Ohio State. Ohio State has not played. They haven't looked good since the Oregon game. And that's just being honest. They don't look good since the Oregon game. I'm starting to get worried that Ohio State is becoming that mid-90s Ohio State that is a good team, but not the dominant Ohio State that we are accustomed to seeing. But going back to number 12, going back to Ole Miss, they got a big game, and we're going to see where they at later. I'm going to touch base more on that game tomorrow, but yeah. Florida, number 10, deserving. Florida should be, I hate to say it like this. I hate to put it this way. The Florida-Georgia game is going to be the deciding factor. I understand Florida plays Kentucky, and Florida gets past Kentucky. That game against Georgia is pretty much the side of the East, to be honest. It's just the side of the East. Both teams are going to beat they actually Georgia already beat South Carolina. Florida's going to beat South Carolina. For both of them gonna be Missouri. It's just one of them things. It's just the obvious. Once again, down for Georgia and Florida. And both of them are in the top 10. Number 9, Notre Dame, 4-0. Is a shaky 4-0. And this is coming from a person that's a fan of them. A very shaky 4-0. I'm put this way. It gave me more of a revelation that what they did in the fourth quarter, meaning they can do it when they want to. And that's the problem I'm going to have with them with this next matchup against Cincinnati. You better not let up when it counts. You better hold your own and hold your own and handle your business. Cincinnati is not no pushovers. Not even a little bit. We're gonna touch base back on Cincinnati in a second. Arkansas number 8. I said that earlier. A lot of stock on Arkansas. This is not a. Oh, they moved them up too quickly. No, Arkansas earned every last of that rankings that they got. Speaking about number 7, Cincinnati, top 10 matchup. We got 2 top 10 matchups. The Hogs heading to play them Dogs in between the hedges, and you got Cincinnati heading to the Golden Dome to play Notre Dame. 2 top 10 matchups. Hogs and Dogs at 12. And Bearcats and Irish is at 2:30. Just saying, if you want to watch it. This is the one, I think this is the one misleading rank right here. Oklahoma should not be in the top 10. This is just me talking. This is just me talking and feel a certain way. Oklahoma should not be in the top 10. Oklahoma should be in the top 25, but damn sure not the top 20, not the top 10. They have not done anything to deserve to be in the top 10. That's how I feel about that. But the top 5 teams have, and that is number 5, Iowa. You know, Iowa is, if anybody knows the history of Iowa, don't expect them to be having a bunch of blowouts. Not every single week. It's not going to be like that. They are a running, play, physically defense in your face type team. They that's how they are. And most of their games are going to be about 24-14 type games. 24-10, maybe 31-13, but that's Iowa. That's Iowa. And they got the number 1 defense in the nation. Number 4, Penn State. They earned every last bit of. They beat Wisconsin when they was hot and ranked. They beat, even though they were the higher ranked team against Auburn, but Auburn hung tough with them. I think Auburn ended up getting a hungover off of that game, and it showed. Number 3, Oregon, hold steady at that spot with Georgia number 2 and Alabama at number 1. That's self-explanatory. Ain't nothing to talk about that. And those are AP top 25 for week number 5. And let's close out. Got 6 minutes. Let's close out with something. I would stay with college football, but I'm actually going to revert back. Actually, no, I'm going to stay with college football. I'm going to say the Josh Gordon one for tomorrow night. Here's your nightcap. And I'm going to say it in the shortest amount of one thought there is. And the subject is the expansion of the playoffs in college football. My one thought, what are you fucking waiting on? If you, and this is what pisses me off. Take the top 12 teams in the nation. Understandably, BYU it will be the one team, one team that is odd man out. You do a 12-team playoffs, top four teams, get a bye week. Which if you play it like this week, it will be Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, and Penn State. So you had the SEC, Pac-12, Big Ten, SEC. It'll be all right. And even if you do the top 4 right now, 2 SECs, 1 Big Ten, 1 Pac-12, meaning the 2 conferences are out, rightfully so, need to be out. Like right now, I'm being so serious right now. Right now, there will be no arguments about the Big Ten, about the Big 12 and the ACC being left out. No arguments. Understandable what Virginia Tech did. Understandable what North Carolina did. But Florida State didn't show up when it mattered. Miami didn't show up when it mattered. And the top dog in the ACC, I already got 2 losses before October turned over. Just be honest. And the Big 12. Let's see here. You're losing Oklahoma. You're going to lose Texas in 2.5 years. So, let's 2.5, almost 3 years. But let's be honest. Your conference is a joke. Iowa State's not good. They're not as good as they think they are. They're not good. They're not good. Just being honest. Oklahoma is not good, and they're the staple of the conference. Texas could be good, but always in their own way. Who's left? Oklahoma State. And the 2 times that we was hoping Oklahoma State would handle their business, they failed to. And it does it every time against a team that don't need to lose to. So, and this is where I'm going to make this, I'm going to close out real quick, but this is where it makes a point for 4 teams for right now, but also makes a point for 12 right now, because you got Arkansas playing good. You got Notre Dame playing good. You got Florida playing pretty good. Ole Miss will be a wild card team that nobody wants to play. Hell, even if BYU be the one team that is a non-Power 5, they are a wild card team that nobody wants to play. Picture the fact, here we go. Even the fact we just take it as is, the season ends right now, you're looking at all teams except for one in Florida are all undefeated. So, here's my thing with it. 12 teams. Why not? 16 could be much, but you can shake that out. 32, it'd be too. 32 is just asking too much right now. Even though the FCS does 32, but they got lesser conferences, and let's just be honest, the Southland Conference is running that right now as we speak at the moment. But why not? I need the presidents, I need the ADs to get off their ass. I need the committee to get off their ass and make it happen. Quit playing. Give the fans what you want. Give the fans what we want, not what they want, but give us what we want. We want to expand the playoffs. Majority of the fans wants to expand the playoffs because you know why? It works with the NFL. It works with the NBA. It works with all other sports. And I'm sorry to tell you, college football, you're literally a semi-pro institution now with the NIL. So guess what? Get off your asses and handle the business of money. And let me tell you this. Don't let the conferences sit there and say, we want a bigger pie, no. All 5 of you bitches, shut the fuck up. Every last one of y'all will get an equal share regardless how many teams you get in. You will get an equal share, split 5 ways, go and buy your business. With that being said, we're going to talk about predictions of college football week 5. We're going to talk about predictions of week 4 for NFL tomorrow. Stay tuned. Don't go away. It's more to come tomorrow. Y'all be good.